JQH Arena in Springfield, Missouri. It's Missouri State Bears basketball as Utah State visits the Missouri State Bears in a Mountain West Missouri Valley Challenge with the winningest Bears basketball player in history, Kelby Stuckey. I'm Tom Ackerman. Great to be back with you for Bears basketball, and excited to see Utah State, a team that just went to Duke, lost. They've played a couple of Division I opponents. We'll get into that, but excited to see what Missouri State can do against them.
Well, it'll be a tough game. This Utah team has played Duke, and they've won 3 other games, so it's going to be a real challenge. They've got talented scorers. It's going to be a challenge for the Bears tonight.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape between these two, and Missouri State checking in with 1 win on the record books. But as I mentioned, Utah State just 2 games against Division I opponents, one of them a loss to Duke.
Well, the most important point for Missouri State is they have yet to beat a Division I team, so I think that gives Utah State a little bit of an edge. With that 1-4 record, there's nothing that scares that Utah State team, so it's going to be a tough ball game tonight.
The Aggies featuring a senior guard, the 6'4" Chris Smith. He's averaging 16 a game.
Chris Smith, 16 points, 6 rebounds, a consistent scorer. He's going to be a tough matchup. They've got to find somebody to slow him down. And
on the other side for Missouri State, you really like Obadiah Church, the 6'7" freshman from Springfield, Illinois.
Obadiah Church is a phenomenal athlete, high-volume rebounder. He's averaging 7 rebounds in 26 minutes. He must continue to find ways to score to help his team.
Can Missouri State get a win at home against Utah State? We're looking forward to it. We're glad you're with us. It's Bears basketball from JQH Arena, and it's coming up next. Back at JQH Arena here in Springfield, Missouri for Missouri State and Utah State. Tonight's starting lineups are presented by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Utah State will send at guard Darius Perkins, a senior from Fort Myers, Shane Rector, their junior guard, along with the big men Lou Evans, Jalen Moore, and their top scorer Chris Smith, the senior guard from Sacramento. For Missouri State, Daquan Miller getting the start at guard. Also Chris Kendricks and Dorian Williams. Obadiah Church, the 6'7" freshman at 1 forward, and Cameron Boone is the other forward. Tonight's tip-off presented by the Missouri State Bookstore. Shop online at MissouriStateBookstore.com for all of your bear wear needs. It's time for Bears basketball as Missouri State tips off against Utah State. With Kelby Stuckey, I'm Tom Ackerman. Glad you're with us for the Mountain West Missouri Valley Challenge. And winning the tip is Missouri State. Church opens things up with the tip, and getting it going is Dorian Williams for the Bears. Cameron Boone, big bruising forward, holding on to the ball. Gets it back to him. Boone, second effort, blocked, but a foul is called, and they're going to get Jalen Moore with that one.
And you like the offense right there. Right away, you establish that inside presence. Screen and roll. Cam Boone rolls strong. Nice drop by Dorian. Cam goes up, misses the first one, but stays after it. Gets an offensive rebound. Earns himself 2 free throws.
Cameron Boone, the 6'6" senior from Seattle, Washington. And Missouri State is on the board. Tonight's game being brought to you in high definition by Great Southern Bank. Understanding what really matters. Member FDIC.
And one thing you like about Cam Boone, many times it's often that he misses that first shot, but he's got a nice quick second jump, and he's able to get himself in position to get those putbacks and, more importantly, draw fouls on inside defenders, which really helps your team.
Boone makes both free throws, 73% free throw shooter so far this season. For Utah State, it's Moore. And now Perkins finds Moore on left wing. 3 on the way. Won't go for Smith. He'll shoot a lot of them, and Kendricks back the other way for Missouri State.
And that's what we talked about, defensive pressure on the perimeter. That time you saw the Bears get out in passing lanes, step around on screens, do a great job of helping and recovering. It's going to take that kind of defensive effort to get a victory tonight.
Good interior defense by Moore, denying the entry pass. And Utah State defensively with 20 on the shot clock. Williams to Miller.
A little matchup zone by Utah State.
Williams with the shot clock at 5. Moore was there. for Utah State. Kendricks needs to get one off. And it banks in for Kendricks.
And when you've got incredible talent, you get those kinds of breaks.
Missouri State off to a nice start.
You just love to see the development of Chris Kendricks, a guy who has off-the-chart talent, starting to believe in himself and believe in his ability.
Here's Lou Evans. Nice little jumper, won't go though, and the rebound goes to Williams. We had a good chat with Evans pregame as he was stretching here in front of us. Nice fella from Salt Lake City. Williams finds Miller, floats in the air to Boone. Cam is going to back in on Evans. Shot clock at 2. Williams. That one's out of bounds, and it will stay with the Bears and a new shot clock.
Another good effort on the offensive board by Cam Boone. Winning plays.
Missouri State pitching the shutout so far. Moore, another heads-up play, and nearly had a transition layup.
No, he baited him into thinking he had a transition layup.
That one out of bounds. It'll go to Utah State.
That was just quickness right there. He let him get right to the ball and then snatched it away. That's very cruel, Daquan Miller.
Be careful. Perkins. Here's Rector, the transfer from Missouri. Good ball handler, can shoot it. Evans fouled by Kendricks.
And this is the start we talked about. Aggressive on the defensive end. Coach Luss realizes that he's got to pick up the tempo, and you do that with your defense.
Utah State's Tim Duryea has his Aggies at 4-1 on the season. Perkins misses the 3. Then Boone grabs the board.
Well, I tell you what, Obadiah Church is the first guy down the floor. It'd be nice if Dorian would just throw it up one time, toss it towards the basket, and let him run under it. He's a great athlete in the open floor.
Williams guarded by Perkins. Dorian. Boone is there, and a foul is called inside as Boone got position.
And you can see that this Missouri State team is playing with a sense of urgency tonight, crashing the defensive board and playing great defense to this point. You'd like to see Dorian turn the corner and take that all the way to the basket, but you've got guys with effort tonight and energy in their legs. That's Cam Boone getting on the offensive glass.
Boone back to the line. He's perfect there so far. Paul Lusk in his 5th season as the head coach at Missouri State. Former SIU Saluki. What a tough, hard-nosed guard he was in Carbondale. Boone with his first miss.
And the Bears with a little bit of full court pressure defense this time.
Moore. He'll knock it down, and the Aggies are on the board.
And Jalen Moore is a guy that you do not want to get started. He's averaging 12 points this year, but last year he averaged 15 a game for the season. So you know he's got the ability to fill it up in a hurry, and he's going to be looking to get well tonight.
6'9" forward. He plays like a wing, and you can see the range right there. Boone lost it for a moment. Kendricks steps into a double team, and that one knocked down by Church, showing a little range.
Finding ways to contribute offensively. Obadiah Church, 16 feet, squares up, sets it, takes his time, knocks it in.
Just 3 so far for the Aggies as Evans gets position. No.
Great rotation by Obadiah Church. Watch him run the floor. Watch him run. You got to get him that ball when he cuts through there. You got to make the defense respect your big man running the floor.
The dish to Boone, but he comes up empty. Evans back the other way for Utah State, down 5.
Nice cut.
Can't get it to go. The miss for Chris Smith. offense is going through Boone so far. Williams to Church. And a travel on Obadiah. So about 5 minutes in, good start for Paul Lusk and the Bears. It is 8-3 Missouri State over Utah State. On Utah State in this Mountain West Missouri Valley Challenge. And early on, how about a bucket for Obadiah Church showing a little range? Obadiah Church is an exciting freshman.
Well, you like that he's developing that aspect of his game because he's very quick. He's very perimeter oriented. He's not going to be able to bang so much with those big bodies. When you can stop and create some space for yourself and knock down 12 and 15-foot shots, it'll draw guys to him, and he's got an incredible leaping ability. One dribble, and it's going to be a party at the rim. So, you know, you like that he's developing that because that's only going to open up his game so much more.
It's Utah State basketball as we get started after the first 5 minutes. It's a Missouri State 5-point lead.
And I like Coach Lusk's attitude in this game. Pressure, 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 pressure. You got to make them uncomfortable. You can't let them settle in and just start shooting and making shots.
Jalen Moore, the recipient of the alley-oop pass from Shane Rector.
And you know he's going to try and get well tonight against the Bears. Averaging 12 points so far this year and having averaged 15 or 16 last year.
Moore, a junior from Skyview High School in North Logan, Utah, and he's skied for that one. Miller throws to nobody, and it's Utah State ball.
And that's the problem with the Bears. As a young team, you can't let runs by other teams or good plays by opponents throw you off of what you're doing. And the Bears tend to let that happen. When a team makes a run, they follow that with a mistake instead of being mentally tough and staying steadfast in their defense.
Finding an opening inside is Lou Evans. Quick 4 points for Utah State.
And a good defensive 5 minutes and 2 easy, inexcusable baskets to open the break.
Miller launches one, and he's fouled.
And Daquan Miller's got to find easy opportunities in this offense. Yeah, somebody's got to bump that cutter. Somebody's got to help slide over. You can't let a guy that talented get a run at the rim. And again, lack of rotation that time, late, easy basket.
Miller, a 76% free throw shooter. Missouri State as a team shooting 65% from the line as Kendricks comes out of the game. And Loomis Gehring in for the first time.
The most important thing for Daquan Miller at this point is to develop some pace in the game. I think he's really having a hard time finding the kind of shots and getting the kind of opportunities that he's comfortable with. I don't think he's used to playing against 5-on-5 defenses all the time like the Bears do.
The Aggies trying to find their rhythm. They changed up the lineup, and there's one of the men off the bench, Julian Perry, who misses the three.
There he is. Nice. Church. That's what I'm talking about. That's the play. Obadiah Church, quick to the other end. Got to take advantage of that athletic ability and that quickness. Throw it ahead. It's not a bad turnover. You turn that one over, you got 5 guys back.
Evans draws the double team through the hands of Moore.
The Bears caught a break that time.
Miller for 3.
There we go. Pace, pace, pace. He needs to pick the pace up. Can't afford to pass it around and shoot it with the shot clock at 5. Got to create some tempo.
He likes that up tempo. 6-point lead for the Bears. Nice dish inside Evans. He's a nice player. Lou Evans, a 6'9" junior forward.
He's got a nice outside touch to go with that strength inside.
Gehring picked up his dribble, now had it taken away. Rector 1-on-2, but he has a trailer, and that one is swatted away by Church.
He should have advised me before he took that shot. I would have told him not to. Obadiah Church, he feeds on those kinds of blocks. And that's the play. You got to get that big guy out running. He's the fastest guy. And there he is on the other end. Oh, no, you don't. Double block.
Boy, he can,
with both hands.
He can protect the rim. He can rebound. He's impressive.
It's what I would imagine not Will Chamberlain, but Bill Russell. Those kinds of plays, that kind of length.
Smith loves that shot. You got it.
Not comparing him to Bill Russell, but that kind of athletic ability.
I got you.
Well, you know, I had to pretext those comments, you know.
1 point lead for the Bears. Jared Dixon in the ball game as that one gets away, and now with the shot clock at 10, Dixon has it to Williams. Dorian. Yes.
And that's a big time play by Dorian that time. Dribbling off the screen with the shot clock running down. Raises up and knocks down a 17-footer. Not an easy shot. But Dorian Williams makes it count.
Tim Duryea shouting out instruction to his Utah State team. Nice dish inside to Moore. Couldn't convert. Scrambling for it, and out of bounds it goes. Williams couldn't get it. It'll be Utah State ball, down 3.
Feed the beast. Obadiah Church, first guy down, first one with the ball.
Down 3 of their last 3 and lead by 3 at home against Utah State. Missouri State riding the offense from Obadiah Church. He has 4 points. Miller, Boone, Kendricks each with 3. Paul Lusk going with the lineup. He'll mix them in there, and he's going to bring in Gehring and Dixon, but also getting some game action, Ryan Krecklow, the freshman from Columbia. That one goes down for Utah State's Julian Perry.
Perry with a rainbow from the corner. You probably want to guard that guy.
We're tied at 15 as a whistle, and Utah State going to get it right back. Only the second team foul on Missouri State. It goes against Gehring.
And if you're the only troubling thing about this game so far, Missouri State has probably played some of the best basketball that they've played this year against quality competition, and the game is tied.
Moore spinning. Smith. Oh, he can make them.
Yeah, and you know that's going to happen. You got to be mentally tough. You know they're going to make a push. They're a talented team. It'll be important to see the Bears respond positively to this run.
Pretty shot by Chris Smith. Inside, count the basket, and the foul is called as Loomis Gehring will go to the free throw line.
And I think Loomis Gehring can be a real asset around the basket. Although undersized, he's strong and explosive. Good strength. If he can catch that ball inside and do more of this, he's got a nice low touch, but that's where he can really help this team. Strength around the basket and finishing. He can make free throws as well.
And he does. That ties the game. Missouri State, 4 of its last 4 from the floor. Quick little 6-0 run by Utah State. Snapped as Missouri State gets Miller back into the game. Ryan Krecklow, the freshman from Columbia.
Played limited minutes in the first exhibition game, and you really like what you see from him. Strong, can shoot it, really a smart player. Knows how to play the game, plays well without the basketball.
Rector, great ball handler. He'll take it in. Can't get the roll. Boone with the rebound.
Cam Boone has established himself as the major offense rebounding force on his basketball team. When he's in there and it's close to him, he more than likely than not comes out with a nice pass.
That one knocked out of bounds, but a foul is called.
And again, you see Daquan Miller liking that kind of a wide open game, finding some opportunities in a broken floor.
Foul called on Jones, Elston Jones, with 2 fouls already for Utah State. Cameron Boone, by the way, with 5 rebounds.
Not a very big player, but has a wide rebounding range. He can grab him to his left, to his right, outside of the reach of his arms, which is a characteristic of an excellent rebounder.
Here he is, Boone, and can't complete the cross-court pass. It's intercepted by Perry. Travel called on Evans. Perry usually starting in this lineup, but he took a seat as Shane Rector started in front of him. Perry, a very good shooting guard. Rector and Perkins really share the point guard duties for this Utah State team. Tie game. Boone. He'll take it. Tried to get his own board, but couldn't. And Perry came up with it for Utah State.
Perry's a nice looking athlete. Long arms, strong, nice shoulders. Looks like he could be a very athletic player.
Quinn Taylor fouled on his way in. Taylor, a redshirt freshman from Houston, Texas. Foul whistled on Jordan Martin. Martin's first. Taylor, yes. Quinn Taylor knocks down the 3, and Utah State has the lead.
And you know they can do that. Wide open jump shots, 3-point shots. They've got guys that can make them.
And now a foul will send it back the other way for Utah State.
And this is what we talked about early in the pregame. Cam Boone, he can't have those kinds of fouls and bring himself out of the game. That's a foul that you can avoid. It's going to be tough enough for him to defend people down there. You can't afford to give away easy ones like that.
First on Boone. Krecklow skied for the rebound there. Gets it to Kendricks.
Nice.
Rattles it home.
And you feel like Chris Kendricks is starting to believe in that ability and that great talent that he has.
Missouri State shooting 58% from the floor. Foul on Krecklow. His first. Jalen Moore back into the game for Utah State. You see Taylor, who hit the 3 coming out, and Chris Smith, who's got 2 of them, comes out of the game momentarily. Just before the media timeout. Moore. Both players hit the deck, and they'll say Missouri State ball out of bounds as Church was right there. Utah State by 1. Missouri State band, one of the best in the Valley, maybe the best. The Bears trailing by 1. What do you see so far here from Utah State climbing back into this, offensively lighting it up from the outside at times?
Well, they're a very good offensive team, and we knew that coming in. One guy averaging 16, another averaging 12. Guys that can shoot 3-point shots. So you know if you make a mistake, they're an athletic team. They're from a very good division. A very good conference, rather, in the Mountain West. So you know that if you don't play your best basketball, they'll jump on you quickly, and that's what has happened.
Utah State 5 of 9 from beyond the arc. But Missouri State with some high percentage shots, 5 of its last 6. Williams will take one of those, puts it in. Nope, they'll wave it off. And an offensive foul is called.
And the right call, Dorian does a great job of shot faking, but there's a big guy waiting for you.
Call made immediately. 1-point lead for the Aggies. The Springfield News Leader brings us tonight's news around the country. Bradley down by 20 in the second half. But Evansville, that's a good team there. Yeah. Evansville up early on Alabama State, and Indiana State leading Eastern Illinois by 7. I've seen both of those teams so far this year. And I'll tell you what, look out for Greg Lansing's team. Tough.
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with Illinois State.
Oh, absolutely. They gave Kentucky a game last night.
They've got a lot of good players on that team.
And Northern Iowa sprung the upset, although anyone that's been to Northern Iowa knows that North Carolina walked into a death trap there.
I don't know who, the guy that schedules games at North Carolina.
Well, Roy Williams.
He needs to make a few calls around the country.
Roy Williams, God bless him, takes care of his players with Marcus Page from that area. And then Page gets injured, so he couldn't even play in the game. But North Carolina, well, they walked into a tough situation there.
Holy moly.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Utah State by 1. The Aggies going on the road here to play Missouri State. Never easy in the Valley, as Utah State is finding out here tonight. 1-point lead. Perkins tries to get it inside to Evans, and it's knocked out of bounds, and it's last touch by Evans.
And I think Utah State is kind of playing into the Bears' hands a little bit with this weave action, because the Bears want to establish defensive pressure. When you dribble the ball across the top of the key, it's a lot easier for guys to stay in the stands and maintain that defensive pressure. So if I'm Coach Lusk, I'm liking that.
4 turnovers for each team in the last 4 minutes as that basket goes down for Dorian Williams, and a lead for the Bears. Moore to Rector for 3. Tipped, and Evans lost it, but it went out of bounds, last off Missouri State.
A good job this time by Dorian. Nice little crossover. He gets to that runner a lot quicker. He gets to that runner before the help defender can establish position, able to knock that one down.
Ball inbounded by Grayson Moore, senior forward for Utah State. Here's Perkins.
Nice play.
Evans can't get it to go. The fight and the foul is called on Miller.
Clever play design that time by Utah State.
First one on Daquan Miller. Team foul number 7 on Missouri State and Utah State in the bonus. 1-1 for Perry. Big rebound for Kendricks.
Now
reaching to grab it.
Is what a rebound is supposed to look like. Oh, wide open.
The miss for Miller, and here comes Utah State with a 1-point deficit.
And I know he'd like to get that one back. All day to shoot the 3, still not able to knock it down.
Evans with the fake, lost it. Moore, no. Evans with the rebound, yes.
Persistent on the board, Utah State.
Behind the back for Dorian Williams. The feed, no foul, as Kendricks couldn't get the shot off. Perry, here's Moore.
And I tell you what, the refs are letting them play on both ends. Nice physical game.
Utah State's gone cold from the floor, 1 of its last 6. Boy, Kendricks is bumping with Moore. They keep getting tangled up there at the top of your screen. Foul called as Williams was moving on the right side of the floor. They get Rector.
And this Utah State team starting to get a little chippy defensively with the Bears.
Loomis Gehring back into the game. Obadiah Church takes a seat. Next foul on Utah State will put Missouri State in the bonus. Kendricks, the sophomore, so much promise, scoring ability.
And you like to get Chris Kendricks something going towards the basket this time. He's had a couple outside shots. You want him to get some opportunities in the paint.
Miller stepped into one. Miss went off the top of the backboard, so it goes to Utah State. Chris Smith, their leading scorer, 16 a game, back in the game. And a 1-point lead for the Aggies. Rector. Oh, that one's going to be a goaltend. They'll count the basket. Kendricks got up there, athletic play, but that ball was on its way down.
Yeah, but he's serving notice. Next time, you better come a little harder than that, or I might not be late.
Well, this Missouri State team could just stay healthy. Austin Reuter out with a hip injury. Sean Roundtree has a hamstring injury. Gehring plows into Evans, and an offensive foul. Utah State by 3, leading the Bears on the road. Missouri State trailing by 3 at home against Utah State. The Missouri Valley Mountain West Challenge without Austin Reuter. In his career, he's led Missouri State in scoring 13 times, 4 20-point games. In fact, it was almost 2 years ago that he had his, actually it was a year ago, he had his 23-point game against Arkansas Little Rock, knocked down 7 threes in that game here. He is out with a hip injury. That's a big loss, a lot of scoring.
Well, the thing about Austin is he gives you movement, ball movement, and I say that because he's able to catch the ball and shoot, which stretches the defense. And he forces guys to close out on him. And as long as he's running around in movement and running around the court and catching the ball and passing in different areas, he's forcing the defense to find him and defend him, which creates opportunities for other players.
Moore falls down with the shot clock at 2. Ball goes out of bounds and a foul is called against Missouri State's Cameron Boone, his second.
Yeah, and Moore's fortunate on this play. Out of control. I guess the freshman got a foot in there, but
they call the foul on Boone. Yeah. So that's 2 on Cam.
Yeah, break for Moore. He was out of control that time.
Misses the front end. And so Utah State up 3. Missouri State has been hanging around in this game. We've had 3 lead changes. Missouri State leading for a good portion of it, is throwing it down as Church to cut it to 1.
Find opportunities to help your team on the offensive end. Obadiah Church doing that for the Bears tonight. Knockdown jump shot and an alley-oop.
That one, oh man, what a great little shot there for Shane Rector. You know, we asked for scoring from Church. He has 6 on 3 of 3. Williams finds him, losing it, and Williams back for Missouri State at a new shot clock with 2.5 to go before halftime.
Great hustle by Chris Kendricks.
Dixon. And Utah State trying to build on a 3-point lead.
And I think if you're Dixon, you want to put that ball on the floor and get to the basket, create some opportunities.
Good dish from Shane Rector, best ball handler on this team. And the junior guard from the Bronx makes the play, finding Jalen Moore. It's a 5-point lead for Utah State. Obadiah Church.
Alley-oop pass to an athletic guy, and Obadiah Church sends it right where it belongs. Above and beyond. That's above the rim basketball right there.
Freshman from Springfield, Illinois, makes it to Springfield, Missouri. And Missouri State using his athleticism, 6 points, 3 rebounds, a block already. It's what he can do.
And you like, if you're Coach Lusk, you're pleased with what you've gotten so far from your team. Good effort. It hasn't been technically the best game you've played probably, but you got to like the effort and you got to like the fight and grit that your team is showing tonight.
Shot clock under 10. Williams can't get that one to go, and more skies for the rebound. Moore backing in on the smaller player Williams, but coming up with it is Missouri State.
Nice pass.
Dixon to Kendricks.
Open floor basketball. That is how you improve your shooting percentage. You've got athletes at the forward. You put it down, you kick it ahead, and you make bounce passes to guys that can jump from outside the lane and still finish. Chris Kendricks with his Dr. J impression tonight.
Love that little scoop. Love that too.
And you know what? He probably doesn't even know who Dr. J is. That's the sad part. Well, he may have seen some pictures.
I'm sure he's seen some footage.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of dawned on me today that there are kids out on this court that didn't see Michael Jordan in his prime.
Yeah, but there's plenty of video.
Perkins. A 3-ball. Utah State goes back up by 5.
My son is actually now starting to discover Michael Jordan in the videos.
Kobe Bryant retiring at the end of this season, getting the accolades as deserved. Michael Jordan's the greatest.
Look at there.
Church showing some range.
And you know what? If you ended the game now, this is a big-time response by Missouri State, considering the week they had in Puerto Rico, to come home and play with this kind of confidence and resolve. You gotta like that if you're Coach Lusk.
In and out for Smith, and a chance to cut it to 1, maybe tie the game for Missouri State.
Missouri State is athletically the better team in this basketball game.
7-second difference between the game clock, shot clock. Miller will wind it down. Williams finds Kendricks. What a half. Kendricks has 10.
He's starting to believe.
At the buzzer, no. Moore can't follow. And what a half.
And starting to lead, which is more important. Coach Lusk with the pumping fist as he goes to the locker room. Gotta like that effort. Gotta like that intensity in the Missouri State Bears.
Utah State leads by 1 at the half, 32-31. Missouri State hits 3 of its last 3, closes within 1. We're at halftime. Back with more after this.